What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. You know, just like me, to schedule something out where I'm going to have a really cool progression of airplanes, and in the event that one of the guys wins a race, we're going to fly the BBJ. But here's the thing. The next couple of races, so Brad Keselowski wins, right? Yay! Excitement. I was super excited. He was super excited. The whole NASCAR industry seems to be pretty super excited about Brad's win. It's a popular win. It's great. However, that happened in Darlington, and then the next race is going to be in North Wilkesboro, so Darlington, South Carolina, then North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and then Charlotte, right? And so, like, I don't want to fly the BBJ for 20 minutes, right? If we're going to fly the BBJ, it needs to be a more dramatic thing. So here's the fictional narrative that I've made up in my mind. Brad takes some of his winnings and goes out and buys an airplane. Um, and so he buys himself a Seneca. Now I'm saying Seneca because I happen to own that plane and thought it would be fun to fly it again. Yeah, those are on. Um, am I getting sound from the game? Current device is computer. Yes. Am I muted? No. Trying to figure out why the music isn't working. I'm going to make sure the audio is working in general. So let me flip the battery switch here real fast and just see. Yeah, no audio from the game. No audio from anything. What's going on? Let me check Windows. Ah, there it is. Nice. Okay, we should have jams now. So anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a complete lo-fi flight of a general aviation craft. And so when I first started with Microsoft Flight Simulator, about a year ago or so, I started in the Arrow, the Piper Arrow. And then when I wanted to learn twin engine or get a little bit faster, this is the airplane that I bought from the marketplace and did a lot of flying in it, right? So I've got a lot of hours in this, but it's been a while ever since I sort of graduated up to the Citation and 737 and things like that. I haven't really flown this, and I thought, what an opportunity, right, to do a couple of flights, but even then, to go even further and not really use the modern avionics much. I have mapped out a VFR flight using VORs, and because this is a bit of a different world, right, than what I've been doing lately, I decided not to do this on VATSIM. So I am going to chart, a path here. I'm going to tune into the CTF of the Chesterfield VOR and just try to navigate by radio and get there. And then I'm going to do a right turn and get to Charlotte, and then another right turn and get to Barrett's Mountain, and then I'm going to do a radial outbound to get to Wilkes, I think it's called Wilkes County Airport or something like that. The runways, the airport's in there somewhere, and the racetrack's in there somewhere. So that's what we're going to do. A little VFR flight, sort of dust that part of my, lackadaisical skill set off. Just making sure that all my controls are working on this bad boy. I just switched over all my levers and my profile and all that, and everything looks okay. So I figure let's start this bad boy up. Hopefully my button mapping is still good, but let's start this bad boy up and get airborne and see what happens. So we'll go ahead and open our window up and hear the glory. But we're going to start number 2 first. I do like this airplane. It's pretty complete. Like it can do quite a lot. You can open up the cargo doors outside, all kinds of stuff. So it's a neat plane. It's a pretty well done plane. So first things first, let's turn on our battery, our alternator, all that stuff. We'll turn on a couple of lights just to let people know that we are moving, or that we're about to be moving. Right? So we got some outside positional lights happening. Just let people know that things are happening in this aeroplane. I'm going to go ahead and open up both cowls and go down here and turn on fuel. Fuel on. Oh, actually, cross feed. There we go. This is a little bit fidgety. Always has been on this plane. Okay, so we've got that. Now we'll go up top. I should have buttons mapped for this if I remember right. Let's double check here. That's magnetos, right, and that's pump, left and right. And then I think that last one's pitot. I don't have labels on there. So we're going to start with the right side. So I'm going to turn on the right magnetos, turn on the right pump. We'll give it full mixture. full prop, crack the throttle. We've got fuel in already. Let's go ahead and acknowledge this, even though we're not going to use you guys a whole lot. What am I missing? Anything? Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and try a right engine start and see if I'm not forgetting anything. Got a good engine start. Look at that. How nice and easy that is. Okay, cool. So, got an engine 2 going. Now that that's going, let's go ahead and just look down here and try to remember how to get ourselves into whatever we want. Ooh, what is all this? I didn't put all that stuff in. Oh, nearest airport. Okay, that's neat. Okay, don't want any of that. What I want is a map. Let's go. No, not flight plan. No, I don't want that. How do I just get into map mode here? CDI? No. Menu? No. Enter? No. How does one just get... Oh, there you go. Hey, map mode's here now. Although, yeah, that's what I want. So let's just mess with range. There we go. I think that ought to do fine for now. Of course, we're going to use... actually, hold on. Yeah, we'll use our radio navigation over here to pop in the VORs, and then we're going to be using this needle a lot. So I've never flown this airplane using VORs. I've done the Cessna a bit, the 152 and 172. Never really done this one. So I'm just going to learn that as we go, I suppose. So why is it so quiet? Let me turn the music off real fast. Seems really quiet. Let me turn the game up a little bit. Let's go into our sound settings here. Volume mixer, flight sim. Oh yeah, that's really low. It's better. We'll leave that open in case we want to make any tweaks to it. Definitely sounds better to me though. I want to be able to hear the aeroplane. Okay, so before we start up number 1, we're real quickly going to just tune in our first frequency. So looking at the map, our first VOR is going to be Chesterfield at 11455. I don't know exactly what this is going to be, but if we follow it through, we should be looking at about a 310, right? So a radial of, these are always a little bit hard to read for me, 7, 8, 9, so 10, 11, 12, 125, right? So I think I'll be setting a course of 125. So let's go ahead and think about that for a moment. We'll set our heading bug, right? Think, Ben, think. It's been a while since you've done this. Flown manual GA airplanes. So heading, here we go. I want to go heading 125. That's what I think it's going to be. And what did I say the VOR frequency is? 114.55. So we'll go to nav 1, 114.55. We'll pop that in, and then the next one after that is going to be 115.0. So we'll plug that in and get it ready. So now we have those ready for nav 1. I guess I don't need to listen to it. And then I think if I remember correctly, instead of GPS, I want to have this on VLOC, right? Yeah. Nice. Cool. So we want this little guy at 125 as well. Although I think the yellow needle's going to do a lot of the work for me here, right? Yeah. So heading bug of 125, which means, hold on, what? That doesn't make sense, right? That tells me I would be flying southeast when indeed I want to fly northeast. No, okay, that's the radial. I want to fly the radial of 125, which is 310. That makes more sense. So we're going to go 310. I can't change that just a little bit. Heading. Weird, why can't I do fine control on that? It's really aggressive. Okay, well we'll play with it. I will use autopilot when we're up there, here and there, so not too worried about it. Well, what's the worst that could happen? We crash. All right, shouldn't be expecting any weather, I don't think. And I was kind of thinking I'd fly. We're going west, right? So it's an even +5. So I was thinking about 8,500. What's up, man? Hey, Mike. Good to see you. I'm doing a short range VOR flight. You proud of me? I'm trying to dust off old skills. So you're gonna see me do stupid stuff. Do think we're ready to go ahead and crank up numero uno. Full mixture, full prop, and left engine start. Yeah, I've been flying the jets so much that I've gotten rusty and I've gotten reliant upon tech, and I thought, let's take it back to basics. I've got a couple of short flights next couple of weeks, and it'll be fun to take it back to some basics, fly the old Seneca. I thought about buying that Duke that I was telling you about over WhatsApp, and I haven't bought it yet. I was thinking about buying that for today, but decided not to. All right, so remember, which one's the pumps? Nope, not that one. That one. That one, and that means... Nope. That. Nope. Damn it, which buttons are they? I've got to label these. Okay, fuel pumps are off, but magnetos are on. Both engines are spinning. Let's take a look down here. All green lights. I'm going to cheat a little bit today. I'm not going to pay much attention to ATIS. We're not on VATSIM or anything. Let me just find a windsock and see which way I'm supposed to be taking off. Kind of a crosswind facing that away. Yeah, it wants me to use runway 23. So that means I am going to go out, turn right, taxi all the way down, and get on at the end. So without VATSIM and stuff, we'll just go for it. No, we're not going to make any calls. I know I've got enough fuel. So let's just go play. We'll treat this like a video game today. Get my keyboard out of the way under the racing sim. There we go. What's up, Niklov? Man, I was in India. And I will, Jamie, I will practice. I got to do this first. I have to. It's required by law. I will do this first, and then I'm going to practice for Nords. I promise. So, anyway, love from India. So, Niklov, I work for a software company and go to India pretty regularly. I was there about a month ago. My cultural site for this trip was Qutub Minar in New Delhi. I don't know if you've ever been there, but interesting place. Interesting traffic you have there, champ. Anyway, sit back, enjoy the stream. TK. Shallow. We'll follow this van around. Man, it's been a long time since I've flown this little guy. Long while. But we want to turn this bad boy to the radial of 125. I got you, Jamie. But I should, man. I've only done the 3 or 4 practices that we've done. And I need to get one more in. We're still running the just the NERB endurance set, right? Or are we going to run one of those VRS ones? I don't know if you and Jamie have been talking about that. I've been working. Look at this little guy. Oh, we should turn on taxi lights. Look at this little guy. We're going too fast. We're going way too fast. Meow, meow, meow. Trust me, I'm a pilot. Cruising, cruising, cruising. Just bring it all the way down. Get in the air. And it was, let's just kind of confirm here. Yeah, about a 310. Feels right to me. Nerve Enduro set. Cool, Ganja Man. Appreciate it. I do intend to get on tonight after this. I don't know if you're going to be around, but I wanted to do this, and then I'll get on and was going to do some practice. All right, we're alone in this server. I don't even think I have traffic turned on because I'm normally on VATSIM. But we'll look over there. I'll do our checks. Everything looks fine. Let's get out there, baby. By the book, I'm supposed to turn on fuel pumps, but they make such an ungodly racket that I'm not going to. I don't like doing it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Your pilot has a glass of rum and an airplane and is ready to kick some ass. Toga! Little, ooh, prop planes, man. I forget how much they want to fight you on the runways. That rotational action that happens. Rotate. Okay. Gears retract. Positive rate. Gears up. Go to a climb power of about 28 there. Come back a little bit on the RPMs. And we'll just ease our way up there to 8,500 feet and begin our turn in just a moment to the northwest. Get up over 1,000 feet or so. All right, flaps retract. And we'll trim back a little bit. There we go. Feels pretty good. Maybe still too aggressive. Don't want to go up more than probably 8 degrees or so. Oh yeah, we haven't done night practice in a bit, have we? We did initially. We did a lot of it, but I'll do some tonight. Yeah, the fog is pretty legit. I find myself kind of wishing that we had rain for this race, but boy, that would be maybe nightmarish. I don't know. That'd be tough. I saw in the release notes or the dev update that more cars, I forget which ones, but more cars are getting rain capacity in this upcoming iRacing release, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy. Give it a little more pitch there. We're just hand flying it for the moment. What's up, beautiful? Brad Keselowski bought a private plane. Pernerber. Alright, so now I've never used VOR in this airplane, so we're going to figure that out together probably, but I believe the yellow needle is going to be my desired, like my, well hang on, actually what does it mean? Let's see, I want to go 310. I can't get the damn bug on 310 exactly. So let's turn it just a little bit more because that's what I want to be. That's what I think I want to be. But what we really want to do is get our VOR gauge here dialed in. About there, about there. Okay, let's come back on the power a bit. Don't burn them up. Come back on the mixture a bit. We're still climbing at a healthy rate. About 1,000 feet per minute. Going in roughly the right direction. Let's try to figure this out. Let's turn on a few lights here. How does the VOR work in this airplane? It's not tuned in right now. I swear that that's what this is. I'm tuned in. Interesting. I'm perfectly on course, it looks like, for Charlotte, but not quite for the first one. Which makes sense. It's an angle, right? But I think that this thing is at a 310, so I'm turning you to 310. Why aren't you acquiring? You might just be out of range, right? That doesn't make any sense. If you're out of range, would Charlotte be in range? Why isn't that acquiring? Why aren't you acquiring, kid? Go ahead and come back on the mixture a bit more. Control that fuel flow. Come back on the props a bit more. Watch my airspeed here. I'm still going pretty slow, but we're still climbing. What do I got to do to get you to acquire? OBS not available. Okay, sure. Fine with that. Man, I haven't even turned on the autopilot yet. Look how straight and true this thing is flying. What an easy plane. Got to get some more speed up, but we be straight cruising. I did finally buy a game controller that I'm going to use to map out a bunch of camera stuff so I can do sweet panning shots and all that. Trying to pick up a tad of speed there, but I'd like to get a bunch more. And I'd like to figure out why the VOR isn't acquiring here. What do I have to do to make you work, good sir? It's not going to be the altimeter. No, that's for my true airspeed. Let's pitch the nose down just a tad. That'll pick us up a little bit of speed and slow our ascent since we're starting to get relatively close. Boy, that's sensitive. That was just a slight turn of the pitch wheel there, of the trim wheel. Oh, do it. Do it. We'll do vertical speed of, how about 600 and boink. So it's interesting that this guy is nicely tuned in. Change our heading bug over 1 or 2. Where we go, and then let's turn on heading mode. Okay, airplane turns automatically. That's good. But I still feel like I should be seeing indications here that this is tuned in. And I'm doing something wrong there, and I don't know what yet. Or do I just rely on this for VOR navigation? I guess I've got that arrow there. I wonder if that arrow... Let me turn off real quickly this guy. Ah, that's my VOR indication. And then I bet you that's my second one. Okay. And then that's its radial. Ah, okay, I think I understand. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I actually don't guess I know what this does in this airplane. Is pretty different than a Cessna. So, Mike, if you're still on, maybe you can tell me what this gauge actually does in this airplane, because it's not a VOR radio navigation gauge, as far as I can tell. This one is. Oh, OBS. OB Trice. No games. Whatever. Huh, okay. Alright, well, I'm going to use that as my VOR and those as my radials. So, I bet you... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So let's do a quick check here. Yeah, look at that. We're right on track. Look at me. Look at me doing visual and radio navigations. Fingering it out. Cruising, baby. I ain't scared, flying some general aviation awesomeness. Dome light. Yeah, 1200's fine, whatever. I mean, what's gonna go wrong? We're not even on. It's good to get in good habits though and do the right things, but we're not even on. Oh shoot! I just realized my camera was still on the racing rig. Rookie mistake. Hi guys. Good to see everybody. Okay, so as we get really close, I should see this change. So what I'm going to do real quickly here is change my heading bug over just a couple degrees. See if we can't get those yellow lines to perfectly intercept. And what's our altitude? Oh, 9,000. I overshot altitude. So let's go down at 500. That's going to help with a lot of airspeed. Let's get it back down to 8,500 feet. Even though I fear I might be flying through some clouds here, I might want to go up above them. Or stay below them. Yeah, let's go up. Instead of down, let's go up a bit. Let's do that. And since we're going to be flying through some clouds, we'll go ahead and turn on ice, windshield, and prop heat. Yeah, I feel good about that. I wonder what that gauge does in this airplane. OBS. I guess I don't know enough about what the heck OBF is. CTF. I'm passing over the CTF VOR right now. So if I understand this correctly, this guy is going to flip around in just a moment. As that radio signal becomes behind me, then I should expect to see this arrow flip down. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I correct? Maybe, maybe not, maybe. Maybe, maybe not. It didn't flip. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go to the Charlotte VOR now. We're tuned in. We're a little off. Oh, look at that. Now that's showing behind me. Interesting. Why is that? I expect that to be on a track of 323. So let's just set this real quickly, because I'm still not sure if it's involved or not. We were a little off to the right there, right? So let's go over and intercept the line. And we're going to set this guy to... Why can't I do fine controls of that? I think that's pretty close, but not perfect. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, we're figuring it out. I don't know why the arrow is now facing backwards, because I'm no longer tuned in to that VOR. 114.55, right? Let's double check. No, 115.0. That's been the thing the whole time. I was on the wrong frequency. Okay, so yeah, there we go. There we go. That makes more sense to me now. All right, sorry. Like I said, learning. It's our altitude. Okay, let's start to zero out our ascent. Boink, boink, boink. I'm going to level off at 10,500. hold that altitude, please. Get back down just 100 feet. It's fun to go back and do things manually sometimes, right? It's like driving a manual transmission car. It's like working on your own car. It's like so many things where automation makes you forget how things actually work. And so only by stripping away the automation do you truly master something. I'm back on that mixture. Let's find the right mixture. My cow flaps are still wide open, right? So let's retract them about halfway. Look at that. Airspeed 150. What's my outside temp? 4 degrees at 10,000. So it means my true airspeed is about 170 knots there. Nice. Cruising. Cruising, holding 10.5 nicely. We're altitude mode now. Still trying to intercept this arrow here. But we're aiming for the middle of, I guess we're aiming to that, right? So I'm going this way a little bit and then need to turn. I don't know why that's so off. Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm a little off there. The VOR, I've never flown a VOR system like this. The Cessnas are pretty damn different. Jolly, that kills me, man. The way you phrased that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Haven't heard that phraseology before, but I like it. And thank you for the what I think is a compliment. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a compliment. We're gonna go ahead and turn these on pulse and strobe. Let's see what we got down there. Yeah, pulsey, pulsey, blinky, blinky. Stroby, stroby. Do we want the strobes on? I don't know. We're in some cloudy stuff, so yeah, we'll leave the strobes on. We're right at 10,000 feet. In an airliner, you wouldn't turn your landing lights off until you're over 10,000. So why not? We'll leave it that way. How's our true airspeed looking? Around 170. Yeah, looking good. Fuel, no problems there. 56 gallons. Oh, that looks okay. We got green indicators all around. Fuel, plenty. Turbo inlet temperature is green but high. We're okay with that. Altitude's holding. Yeah. Rock and roll. So, what we're hoping is that we're somewhere close to this magenta line. Yeah, we're not too far off. You know, considering it's a completely VFR flight, no electronics involved. We're not too far off. And once we get to CLT here, at that point we will see. We can see a little bit off right there, right? So let's fix that. Let's get picky. Boink, 1 degree over. I really want to get that new general aviation plane. It's called Duke by some company called Black Square. I really want that plane. It looks so cool. So if you're just joining this series for the first time, let me explain what we're doing and how we've reinvented the rules a couple of times just for my own amusement. I'm a big NASCAR fan and I like flight sims, and I wanted to sort of combine those two things. My favorite team in ye old NASCAR is RFK Racing. They have 2 cars, the 6 and the 17. And what I did was I came up with a performance-based sort of game that I'm playing with myself, where depending on how well the team does, I'm the charter service that they use. And if they do well, they get a fast, cool plane. If they do badly, they get a slow, boring plane. And so let me switch over to this mode. So of course I'm a nerd. I put together a spreadsheet and have been going the whole season like this. So first few weeks were really rough. We were flying the DC-3. Had to fly the DC-3 from Atlanta to Vegas. Bro, 2 days, 11 hours, long time. It was tough. And so you can see here that there's a a breakdown of you know, what are we going to fly based on their average finish. So, you know, this week at Bristol, there was a third and a seventh. Great race. So we flew the CJ4 fight because it's average of 6 to 10. We flew the Citation. And now the thing is, this last week, Brad actually won the damn race. I should be flying the 737 right now, but I decided not to because it's such a short flight, right? We're talking about, you know, South Carolina to North Carolina, just about 100 miles. And I was like, okay, then the fictional narrative that I have, instead of these guys commissioning a really nice jet for such a short flight, right? They wouldn't charter that. Instead, here's my imagination. Brad Keselowski went out and bought a plane. He went out and bought this little guy, and is flying it himself from one airport or from one racetrack to the next. So I'm just flying track to track to track to track and trying to get some variety in there. I got interested in the C-17 Globemaster. I'm an Air Force veteran, so I got interested in the C-17 Globemaster for a bit, and I flew that for 2-3 weeks. So I've been breaking my own rules left and right. I don't care. I'm just having a good time. Playing a game, making my own narrative, trying to stop myself from spending $50 on that Pilot's Life add-on. And I like this plane. I like these planes. I like general aviation planes. And I don't fly them enough because I've gotten interested in and good enough at the jets, you know, airliners and so forth. And those are cool. And the whole VATSIM air traffic control aspect of it adds a whole layer of immersion and interest and challenge that isn't there for general aviation largely, right? I mean, why would you get on VATSIM if you're going to do VFR unmonitored flight? So anyway, having fun with it. I guess I need to plan my next turn here. It's coming up pretty fast. So we're here. Looks like we got about 20 nautical miles to go before we get to Charlotte. Then we're going to turn north on a 349. And let's plug in on our nav here. We want 11375. So 11375. Okay, we'll flip that over when we're ready. Or when we're passing Charlotte, we'll flip that over. And again, that radio is going to be 349 out of there. Cool. Nice. Nice. We be cruising right now, though. Nice, easy flight. I need to get my Xbox controller set up now that I have it finally, and start planning out some camera hackery. You know, to where I can do slow pans and custom camera controls and all that stuff without relying on the messiness of a keyboard. Need to do all that jazz. There's no underbelly light on this thing? It's not. How's everything looking? We're still off track there a little bit, but like we zoom in on the map. It's got a little ways to go, and it looks like we're tracking a little bit low, but I think we're not really. Of course, the VOR might not be right on top of the airport. It could be what's going on. I guess it's a little bit south of the airport, but not by a ton. The clouds though, huh? Should I go up or down? It's not that long a flight. I don't want to get too high. Airspeed seems okay. We're not getting any icing. Well, fine. We'll stay in the soup a little bit. And if we want to change, we can change. Let's go ahead and move our heading back over onto the arrow. Turn the airplane and get ready for our next turn. Another thing I don't know about VFR, and one of the reasons I don't want to do this on VATSIM is because I would imagine, there's like different classes of airspace and I don't really know them. I'm sure my buddy Mike, if you're watching, you probably know them. But there's like, I guess there's A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I've never studied this stuff, but like Charlotte is a pretty good size market, right? When you think of air travel, it's got a relatively major airport, and it's class something airspace, where VFR planes like the one I'm in right now would need to follow certain rules. I don't know what those rules are. Probably like radio contact and minimum and maximum altitudes and all that stuff. So I don't know how that works. So that's yet another reason that I don't want to get on VATSIM for VFR flying if I didn't learn that stuff. So since I don't know it, I don't want to be the goober who's messing it up. Yeah, baby. In the soup now. Cool looking little airplane. It really is. I like flying these GA planes. I don't do it enough. I should do it more. Which is maybe me talking myself into buying that that Duke. That thing looks so cool. Like it almost makes me want to pull up that YouTube video of the Duke startup because it's got this tablet. Do I have time? Yeah, I've got time. Give me a sec here. I'm gonna find this. I was watching some stuff about this the other day. It's wicked cool. YouTube. MSFS Duke startup. Because there's a tablet thingy.
A combustible fuel to parameters to count.
Yeah, here we go. Check this out.
As we turn the ignition switch to both, we can see the magnetos unground in sequence.
Yep.
When we turn the switch to start, the starter motor torque will be calculated based on the battery temperature, the starter temperature, the bus voltage, the oil viscosity, too many parameters
it's like
to count.
Fluid flow,
as it rotates
piston
the propeller,
movement, or
we'll
turbine
see it
movement,
fall
depending on the
into each
edition.
compression well for every cylinder.
It's modeling
we'll
compression.
Hear the magneto impulse couplings snap.
What detail?
As they
How
move the
cool
wiper
is
to
that?
each contact. And if we're lucky, it
so
might
I find
just
myself
start.
interested. I think it's like 40 or 50 bucks, and I find myself interested to spend that money and fly that plane. The question is, how often will I fly general aviation craft? And I don't know. I don't know how often that'll be. But stuff like that might make me do it more. Flip it back over here. Do. Where's your damn instructor, Mike says. Mike, you're my instructor, dude. But you don't come online and play games anymore. You're too cool because you fly real airplanes, and you think guys like me are stupid because we fly fake airplanes, and that's not funny. You're a mean guy. I'm too busy to be a real airplane pilot. Alright, so it's showing this as we're getting farther and further off, but what that means is that we're getting closer, so the signal is becoming a little bit more distorted, but that's why we're using our avionics over here just for positioning. We can see that we're almost there, and what I'm going to do now is flip as soon as we're like right at it. We're getting right there. It's about time. If we look outside, which if we can see it, there's an airport down here. In the soup. But yeah, we can't see that action, can we? Live weather. There it is. Look, an airport. So I might want to fly that way. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to leave live weather off and just enjoy a nice sunny day the rest of the way. It's no fun to fly in the soup, right? So over there somewhere is the VOR. Might even be able to see it from here. Looking for like a circular. A VOR is basically an omnidirectional radio transmitter. Don't necessarily see it anywhere. But now that we're at it, we're going to flip our radio signal over. So go to 11375 that we're prepared on already. And that, what do we say it's going to be? A 3... Oh shoot, I forgot. 349. I was thinking 389. I was like, that's impossible. It can't be a 389. So let's turn our heading bug now to about 350 and turn a Rooney. And then we'll have this track for 43 nautical miles until we get to BZM. And then we've got to be a little bit more creative. So when we get there, We don't have a direct radio signal to fly to, since, well, I don't know, actually. No, it's not a VOR. But maybe I could use 1224? I don't know. I'm going to plug it in. 122. Nope, okay, that's not a real number for this. So, anyway, because we don't have a radio signal to fly into that we can tune in, we're going to leave it tuned to Barrett's Mountain, right, at 11375, and pay attention to the radial. So what I mean by that, and Mike will be proud of me if you're still watching to explain this, right? There's the course coming in, and then upon departure, you stay tuned to the same radio. If you're looking at the course going out, you're looking at the inverse of the number, the opposite of the number. So on my compass, as an example, if you look at this yellow line, it's tuned in right now to 330, 31, 32. Right, it's tuned in right now to 320, which means the inverse, look at the other side of the needle, is 140. Now what I need to do is turn this to match where I'm going. And you can see how the radio signal is a little off, just because we're half a degree off. But I can't get it to do fine control there. I don't know why. But anyway, if I can get it to go right there, I think it would be perfect. So we'll probably finagle it back and forth a little bit. But the radial of 30 is 12. The radio of 03 is 21, and so on. So if you stay tuned in to a signal as you're going away from it, then you're just thinking about not the course I'm going to, not the heading I'm going to, but the vector that I'm going from, right? That's kind of the idea. So I think once we get there and we do that right turn, that's when we'll start our descent. I don't know what that distance is. Are there distance markers on here anywhere? Well, just eyeballing it, if this is 43 nautical miles, then that's probably about 20 maybe. So yeah, I think that'll be a good time for us to start our descent. And if we need to circle around a little bit, we can. No worries. Just cruising. Easy flying. Might do this next week too, because the next race after this week's All-Star race is back here in Charlotte, and so I might do this, or maybe I'll buy the Duke and do the Duke or something else. I don't know, but I might do another manual VOR flight down to Charlotte. Something I'm interested in real fast. I wonder if the Speedway is called out on here anywhere. I wonder if we can get. I bet you that's it right there. Is there a satellite option? Yeah, satellite. Hey, satellite, cool. Hey, it is. That's not it. Where are you at, Speedway? Where's the racetrack? Racetrack spotting. Where's the racetrack? Wilksboro. North Wilksboro Speedway. Anybody see a racetrack? I'm looking for a racetrack. Lost racetrack. Reward if found. I'm about to give up and go to Google. Oh, hang on. Whoa, there it is. Alright, so that means that it's a little off of my flight plan, but where's my plane? Oh, there it is. But if we get in town, I can take a right down that road and then go north from there. I mean, I'll be able to see the runway from there on the clear day that I've got it set up for right now. Yeah, we could, when we get into town, if we see this road, we can hang a right. We'll try to get down to, like, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 feet by that point. Take a right-see and check it out. Take a righto. Moving the hell right along though. Ground speed of what, 175 knots. We're moving. Ain't scared. I mean, I'm sorry, a true airspeed. That's the way that works, right? You got your indicated airspeed of 150, but the true airspeed adjusted for temperature. Yeah, this is the way I think it works. Boink. Don't open the door, Ben. You're tempted. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, I forgot about the tablet. This has tablets. Static elements, external power, tow bar, piloto, co-pilot. Let's say co-pilot. Co-pilot. Ah! That crashed the airplane. I didn't mean to click that. I didn't mean to click that at all. Okay, what do we do? I didn't mean to click that. Like my finger straight twitched. What do we want to do? Let's look back at the sectionals here, and that was stupid. I shouldn't have pulled the stupid tablet out. I'd forgotten it existed. We'll fly from Hickory, KHKY. Man, stupid. Way to go, Brad. Hickory Regional. That'll work. Do I even want to do the startup? No, let's just take the hell off. Since we've already done startup on this stream, we're going to do that. We're going to take off this way too. Let's just get back in the air, baby. And we'll only fly at like 2,500 feet. That was stupid. I was just joking. Don't open the door, don't open the door. And then I freaking clicked on the damn tablet button that opened the door. Oh well. Just a video game, right? I didn't crash and kill anybody in real life. Then again, that wouldn't have happened in real life like that, right? So, live weather. What are you complaining about, machine? Everything's on. Batteries on, everything's on. Oh, landing gear. Because we crashed, right? Landing gear was never put down. Okay. So, I don't typically start at the runway like this, but that's what we're doing right now. Parking brake disengage. Oh, a little bit of flaps, please. So we're just going to get up in the sky, look up that VOR again. But I'm just going to point it northwest, northeast, I'm sorry, I just had northeast. In fact, we're almost right on the radio right now. Well, that just took itself off. Positive rate. Retract the flaps. And this should still be loaded. It is good. So BZM once again was... Pay attention first, Ben. Aviate, then navigate. Okay. Control it. Can't believe I did that. That was so stupid. Okay, we'll level off at 2,500 here. Come off on the mixture some. Come off on the power some. And throttle just a little bit. Go. And let's hit B for barometer. Since we're doing some cheating here, no big deal. try to keep it at 2500 until I get things plugged in. Altitude mode, and let's get our nav bug to about there, and autopilot engaged. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is vertical speed, and we're going to go down -5 until we get to 2500. Can't believe that happened. How embarrassing. Don't push buttons, Ben. Altitude's already set. Okay, good. Lights are already on. Pulse mode. Strobe. Okay. Happy. Alright. We recovered. Alright, let's take our vertical speed now and zero it out, please. Go. Okay, now let's look up that frequency, please. Let's turn off satellite, FA sectionals. 11375 is what we wanted. 11375. And we'll take a look here. We want to go to CDI mode. Cool. Change our heading here to go that way, and we'll go to heading mode, please. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, which might actually put us almost on a perfect radial here for our cruise up to Wilkes. Let's do this tablet over here. What do a tablet can do? Stupid. The thing is, I don't think this is a pressurized airplane, so I don't know why opening the door would just instantly crash it. I guess it maybe is a structural component and it stresses the airplane, but that was crazy. Should real quickly look at minimum altitudes here. 2916, 258. That's a little bit. Go ahead and turn this away. We're gonna buzz some hills for sure. It's cool. So our radial out of here should be so the inverse, the reciprocal is, looks like a 200. So actually I'm going to turn a little bit more. Oh, no, other way. Okay, so we're pointing directly away from it. Feels pretty right. If I'm understanding my manual navigation correctly, this should be where we're going, right there. Take a look at the map. Hey, that's pretty good. Look at that, I got us. That's a 2680. I need to get up a little bit. Alright, so vertical speed, please, of 400. Let's get up to 4,500. What is this airport's elevation? Airport, KUDG. 192, that's all? Okay. Runways, looks like we're going to be landing runway 23. Approach. And arrivals. Wants me to go around. Runway 23. Okay, looking for a triangle. We're going to land this away and we'll taxi and turn off to our left. Looks like either halfway or all the way down, depending on how well we do on landing. Hey, is that the airport right there? No way, is that the airport? Might be. It's not far off. I mean, if this is only 20 miles or so, and I don't see any other runways along the way, so we've already got visual on the field. Do we want to do a fly over the speedway, chat? Let me know. Since we're close, do we want to do a fly over the speedway? Let's go ahead and begin our vertical speed descent at 200, because we get over these hills and that's all we got to worry about. Man, look at that place, huh? It's pretty, this part of the world. The Blue Ridge Mountains, Appalachians, not a lot. I mean, there's a lot to see here. It's beautiful. I did a couple of weekend cabinets in Blue Ridge, and it's just fantastic. There's a place called Banner Elk in North Carolina that rented a nice house. I say cabin. Rented a nice friggin' house. All right, let's think about where that road was before we freaking crash the airplane by opening a door. We don't necessarily need to look at radio navigation anymore now that the field's in flight. So I'm going to put it on satellite mode and zoom, zoom, zoom back in. It was this main drag here, right? Yeah, there's the runway. So we'll keep going this way, and then as we see the town, we'll take a right on this somewhat major highway. Looks to be the only major highway. So we'll fly that in VFR. Once we intercept that highway, we'll kind of stay at about 1,000 feet or so and cruise around here. Just do a flyover or two of the speedway before heading up to the airport here. So right now I'm just looking for this highway. Shouldn't be far. Is that really the airport? Seems... I guess so. I guess so. Okay, that looks to be the highway there. So, do I see it over here? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So let's take off our autopilot. Autopilot, disengage. I have the airplane, my controls. Where'd the road go? Flew right over the highway. It's hard to see him. I guess I'm going kind of fast. Actually, I'm going hella fast. I never decreased my takeoff powers. Get back over to this highway. Airplane doesn't have the best VFR visibility, if I'm being honest. we at? Where the hell are we? Was that the speedway right there, I think? It looks like it. We navigated there perfectly. 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 No problems whatsoever with my navigation abilities. Found the highway too, look at that. There we are. What's up, Wilksboro? North Wilkesboro. It looks like it's just like Ferda said in his stream. It looks like it's like the imagery here is still pre-refurbishment. Because until a couple of years ago, until last year really, this racetrack was pretty dilapidated. Okay, let's get back to flying our airplane now. We're going. Ooh, we've lost a bunch of speed. That's okay. I'm going to trim back. I'm going to give it a little bit more beans, a little bit more fuel, a little bit more power. Let's start thinking about this approach. We said that the airport chart for approach RNAV 23 to 230 coming in. So, where is it at, please? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's spot that and fly this way, sort of on an almost inverse of 230. It's taken me a while to learn to look at the bottom of the compass, not just the top of the compass, right? And that if I'm going this way, it means I'm going the opposite of this way. And if you know the course you're going to go upon approach, then knowing the way you're not going exactly there, knowing the opposite of the way you're going is kind of important, right? If I want to line myself up for a nice little loop around. Guy shows up and compliments me on my flying just as I freaking open a door and crash the airplane like a goob. There's the airport. A little far off the field. Let's turn. Hard to see over these humpy ass engines. I think what I'll do is get it out to just short of this hill here. Go ahead and start bringing it down. Autopilot's fully disengaged, right? There we go. Disengaged. Let's take a quick look at that chart again. So 1800. Final approach 230. Okay, cool. See the runway here. We get out past Coombe. Like I want to get out to about here when I come back around. Latvia. That's kind of our target for the loopity-loop. Lane's going kind of fast. Okay, coming up here. Do I want to flip it around now? Wait another second here. Let's go ahead and be patient. I guess I probably do want to do it before this hill as low as I'm getting. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Throttle back a little bit, but we'll put power up a bunch. drop that is. Let's turn before this hill. We don't have to worry about navigating around it, you know? About here is where I'd be announcing my base turn. Look out the window. Okay, we're clear of the hill. Where's my runway? There it is. Go ahead and do the rest of our turn. About a 20-degree bank here. And find that 230. Soonish. Coming down. We're still at 2,500 right now. Bring it down to 18. That was the first step on the chart. Okay, we're a little off center. Slightly too aggressive on our turn. Come off on the throttle, and let's put our first notch of flaps down. All the way up on the throttle, all the way up in the mixture. Way down on the throttle, let's turn in for final. Looking for that 230. Alright, 2 white, 2 red, looking good. Go with our another notch of flaps. Gear down, 3 white. Let's bring it down a bit. Gear is going to act like a parachute. Slow us down a bunch. Still a little bit too high. It's right angle on the airport. Okay, that's good. 2 white, 2 red, coming in nice. Feet on the rudder pedals just in case there's a bit of a crosswind, but it feels okay. Nice calm day here. Three green, no red. Clear for landing. A little off to the left. Go. That feels pretty good right there. 3 white, 2 white, looking good. Come off on the power some more. Begin to think about our flare. Off on the power some more. Float her in, float her in. Right on that center line, baby. A little high, but hey, that's not bad. Not too bad for a guy who opened the door in the middle of the sky. Alright, flaps retract. A little bit of brake here. More brake here. And let's take this turn off. Nice. Nice landing, I think. That was pretty good. Did a flyover of the racetrack. Learned some, relearned some VOR navigation. That's good. Computer did less for us than it normally does. The 737 to the citation. Yeah, it's a good time. It's fun to do that sort of stuff, you know, to go back to analog. Go back to the way things used to be and force yourself to really understand what's happening as opposed to just react to what's happening. You know, I remember, what was that plane crash that happened? Was it an Air France flight going out of Brazil? Was it somewhere out of South America? And crashed, killed everybody on board, and you know, all the black box, you know, documentary on it and stuff, documentation on it, seemed to come down to the pilots didn't know how to fly an airplane. They knew how to fly a computer, and they didn't know how to fly an airplane. And I could totally see that, right? They program an FMC, and they manage an FMP, or FPU, and that's it. That's where their job stops. Okay, I guess we'll just loop around here. Figure out which spot we want to get into. Park it right here. And pull that handbrake. Now we'll go to the tablet. We'll put chocks in. Is there a thingamabob for chocks? Thought there was, I guess not. Anyway, whatever. We'll go ahead and come off on power, off on mixture. That should kill the engines. Excelente. Why don't we go ahead and turn on external power. So we'll go ahead and come off on all of our lights and our avionics. Battery's still up. Kill the lights. All right. Magnetos off. And let's have the ground crew put our static elements on. And now we'll open up those doors. All right. So we've flown the Seneca for the first time in a long time. That was fun. It's cool. I can't believe I clicked that stupid tablet button that crashed the airplane midway after having such a fantastic flight. But it was kind of fun to take off twice and get on the radio twice and all that stuff. So I guess I'm not too mad about it. And again, it's only a game. So you could be assured that in real flight, I would not reach over and just say, I wonder what happens if I open this door. I think that's not something I'm going to do. So, all right. I'm going to eat some din din and then practice. Those of you watching, tomorrow begins Nürburgring 24 in iRacing. The Welsh wild man Jamie Hall, the nasty Californian Nick Mucanos. I don't know why I said nasty. How about confident Californian? Cocky Californian? Crazy Californian? Nick Mucanos is going to be co-driving the BMW M4 GT3 with me around the Nürburgring for 24 hours, all the way to a big win. Is what we're expecting, hoping, dreaming of. Nürburgring is all about survival. So we'll see how we do. And I appreciate everyone coming by and hanging out with me today on this stream. Hope you had a good time.